Ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for tuning in to the Ogarstyle channel. Anyways, just wanted to give you my thoughts on Super Bowl 49 here in the Phoenix metro area, which is actually taking place in Glendale, Arizona. I This is the third Super Bowl we've had here so far. I've gone and enjoyed the festivities of all three. Super Bowl 42, 6 or 7 years ago. Just yesterday, you can find the videos that I posted on the walkthroughs from yesterday's experiences down here by clicking on the Ogre Style channel button. For those of you watching this on social media, that's OGARSTYLE Ogre Style channel on YouTube. Anyways, moving right along. The Super Bowl experience has definitely come a long way since the first Super Bowl we had in Tempe at Sun Devil Stadium in 1994. I believe it was, if I remember correctly, Cowboys versus the Steelers. Stupid Cowboys. Anyways, um, I think they learned a lot of mistakes from the last time they had a Super Bowl here. There wasn't so much last year, but last time, excuse me. They didn't have really much of an NFL experience in downtown. You could go down to the hotel and hopefully see a couple of famous people. I got to see Deacon Jones and a few others. However, this time around, they've split it up into three sections. They've got the ESPN Fan Fest in Scottsdale, which is actually really small, and there's just not much to do there. There's plenty of stuff to buy, but not really much to do there. They also have the festivities over at Glendale. I didn't go down to the stadium. I'm trying to stay as far away from that stadium as possible. You just never know what's going to happen anymore these days. So that being said, I did go down to the NFL experience downtown. Did not actually attend the actual NFL experience inside the convention center. $35 to get in, to wait all day to just get a glimpse of somebody famous. So I kind of skipped out on that. I spent a lot more time over at Party Central, which was probably the best section they had there in that entire area. They've got square blocks of downtown cordoned off for it. Anyways, but Super Bowl Central was the best spot. They had a live sound stage. They had, NFL Network, NBC Sports, all kinds of other stages set up for live TV. Big old rock climbing wall that looked like a lot of fun, and a lot of people in that area. It was packed to the nuts and bolts. So that being said, my Super Bowl pick is that hopefully New England will win. I don't like the Seahawks, and after yesterday, and then at the Fan Fest, ESPN Fan Fest, and the NFL Experience downtown Phoenix, do not like their fans either. I think they spend more time talking than they should, which is fine. I mean, Muhammad Ali got away with it for a long time, but he was very charismatic about it, so he was able to pull that off in shining form. The Seahawks are definitely no Muhammad Ali, who actually lives here in the Valley, on a side note. So I'm ready for the Seahawks and the Seahawks fans to get the hell out of this valley and take their reign with them. And speaking of the rain, I just have to say that I feel so bad about all these people that are expecting a nice, warm, sunny Super Bowl week and weekend. The way I explained it to a CBS sports reporter was that, that feeling when somebody comes over to your house unannounced and your house is a little messy, you're like a little embarrassed. That's kind of how I feel about this rain. It's kind of embarrassing that this would have to happen, but, you can't stop weather, well, unless you're working with the government at the HARP facility, but that's another story for another day. Anyways, moving right along, I do have to say the security. Not so much at the Scottsdale ESPN Fan Fest, is crazy. Downtown, it is phenomenal. There are several security forces. There is Phoenix PD everywhere. I mean, you can't go more than 25 feet without seeing law enforcement of some sort. Outside of all the entrances, which I thought was really strange, you see a lot of Department of Homeland Security folks. And as you're walking through the venue, they have these, I'm calling them guard towers because I don't know, that's the only thing I can equate them to, like a prison guard tower. They're an apparatus, and the apparatus is here, and then has a little like crane or stand, and then up at the top of the stand is an elevated pillbox where they can look down on everybody, and you can see that in one of my previous videos down here on the Ogarstyle channel. The video is entitled Super Bowl XLIX Police State, to get a better view of those, what I'm calling pillboxes or guard towers. And anyways, I just thought it's just overkill. I mean, how are they going to stop terrorism from fucking 20 feet up in the air? And let's see. Oh, another thing. I even saw Department of Energy there. As I was leaving the venue, walking out to the bus stop to get out of downtown, I was walking down the street. There was an SUV, two older gentlemen sitting on it. On the dashboard was a piece of paper, a printed out piece of paper. They had a government seal on it. So, you know, we're in public. I'm an American citizen. So I walked right up to the vehicle with them sitting in there, looked at the piece of paper, and it said DOE, which turns out to be the Department of Energy. I don't know what the hell they would be doing here for the Super Bowl. I don't see them being able to provide anything that APS, the local power company here, wouldn't be able to provide. So I just thought that was kind of strange. You know, and then I don't know how many of you guys tune into Dahboo 7. That's DAHBOO 7. And his channels are the same name with either 2 7s or 3 7s after them. I definitely recommend you go check out his channel. That being said, he brought, let's see, where is it right here? Operation Falcon Virgo. It's a joint task force, basically, of some sort, being headed up by Department of Homeland Security, NORAD, as well as the Pentagon. So I definitely recommend researching that as well. You can either go up there and type in that operation, which will be another easy way for you to find the Dahboo 7 channels. Also, moving along, another thing I didn't like about all this added security, you see, all the security in the world isn't going to make us safe. You know, I mean, you've got Department of Homeland Security all over the Super Bowl experience, except for the thing is they're not inside looking for terrorists. They're on the outside, chilling out, relaxing, taking pictures of folks like me because I've got my camera out, and we all know that any American in the eyes of the Department of Homeland Security can be a terrorist, especially those with cameras. So, that being said, I was photographed by Department of Homeland Security yesterday because I was using a camera and all that good stuff, and I was getting footage of, the pillboxes, guard towers, whatever you want to call them, and they really didn't seem to like that very much, and especially when I got a couple of DHS guys, officials, officers, whatever you want to call them, like I said, he started taking pictures of me as I was walking across the street and across the street. So if they need a patsy, now they got a picture. Ain't that wonderful fucking news? They'll be like, and here we have the suspect Ogre who has destroyed the entire West Coast. He has strong ties to protesting movements like Occupy Phoenix and has been very active on social media saying bad things about the government. So, whatever. I'll be your fucking Huckleberry, patsy, slave, whatever you want to call it. fucking stupid. But yeah, so I got the Department of Homeland Security taking pictures of me because I'm taking video footage, in a public area, blah blah blah, rah rah rah. Didn't like that. Speaking also again of the Department of Homeland Security, Jay Johnson actually came down, did an actual press conference here in Phoenix from the Super Bowl press conference area, reinstituting the See Something, Say Something program, which I really think is a bunch of Nazi bullshit. Remember those days? If you see a Jew, say something. It's the same damn thing. Turning your neighbor, it's Nazi snitch work. That's the way I view it. I mean, obviously, if you see something off and you think terrorism is about to happen, yeah, call law enforcement. But to see something, say something, it just... Somebody gets mad at somebody, doesn't like a coworker, they call up Department of Homeland Security. They're like, hi, yeah, this guy, I really don't like him, and I work with him, and I think that he's a terrorist. It just opens up all kinds of doors for bullshit like that when you leave it up to the citizenry to watch the masses. Okay, so moving on. Also, Dabu7 did a video on this, and it's been all over the media. But apparently, they're using Blackhawks and huge scanners from the border for extra security. The scanners come from the border, and what they are is they're these huge, they come up, boom, boom, like so, like a square without the bottom, because it's obviously planted on the ground, but it's big enough to drive a semi through. And why aren't we using those on the border? Are you telling me we can't? Really, we have to take resources from the border to protect the Super Bowl? We've got Department of Homeland Security, Department of Energy, security forces, police, this, that, everything else. Black Hawk helicopters on top of that. And I do want to say one thing. When Dabu7 did his video on the Black Hawk helicopters, he said that they were replacing all patrolling helicopters in the areas with Black Hawks. That's actually wrong. I actually live in the valley. Not saying anything bad about them, but here's the deal. The Black Hawk helicopters have actually been added to all the patrolling helicopters in the area. Now, we've already got Black Hawk helicopters that circle around the city periodically throughout the week, throughout the month. And so to see even more of those when I didn't like the few that were already in our skies, I just don't feel there's any reason to be patrolling and training above our cities. And lastly, I hope there's a lot of people out there say that this may be the year there's a false flag event at the Super Bowl. I really hope not. I really hope not. And just look for the call signs, guys. Is there a drill in the area? During a terrorist attack. And if there was this weekend, yes, there's Operation Falcon Virgo. And that's just, look at Boston. All you have to do is go right up here, type in Boston fake blood. You don't have to add bombing. You don't have to add marathon. You don't have just these 3 words: Boston fake blood. And you will see plenty of proof of a false flag attack. I mean, look at the false flag attack that we just had out in Paris, where they try to say that this Muslim cop was shot by a Muslim extremist when there's no blood and gore on the ground from a high-powered rifle supposedly shooting this guy in the head. If you slow down the video, you don't see blood and gore being splattered from the guy's brain. What you see is him miss the guy's head and dust come flying off the pavement beside his head, proving utterly that it was false flag all the way, staged, scripted, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, guys, I really hope if you do go to the Super Bowl, stay vigilant, keep an eye out. The government and or terrorists, you just can't trust them. So if something happens, make sure that you do the right thing. And that's it. That's my take on the Super Bowl here in the Valley of the Sun this year. Thanks for tuning in.